What's good, bro? One thing I realized that's interesting about our minds is how quickly novelty wears off. Now, you might be thinking, well, let me get myself something new and I'll feel better, right? I've been there too. But here's the thing about getting yourself new things to make yourself feel better. You're fighting against your evolutionary instincts. You're fighting against what your mind and what your body knows to be true. Haven't you noticed that every time, let's say you go and get something new, you go buy a new t-shirt, you go buy some new shorts, you go buy some new shoes. At first when you get them, it's exciting, right? And then one day passes and you wear the shoes or the clothes. 2 days pass, 3 days pass, and then soon you look at it and you're used to it. So why does this happen? It's interesting. It's one of those annoying features of the mind. And this is something that I learned when I took the Science of Well-Being course. And I realized that the mind has features that allow us to get used to circumstances. And it's especially helpful when we're in a shitty situation. Like, let's say you were in a concentration camp. If your mind couldn't get used to the fact that you were going to be there, it would self-destruct. It's the same thing with good experiences. Well, now your mind has to adapt. It's like, okay, well, this is such a good experience, but now I'm used to it. So this pattern of adapting is actually called hedonic adaptation, which means that as time moves forward, your mind gets used to things, whether good or bad experiences. So you have to ask yourself when you're about to go buy something and you're looking at it and it seems good, ask yourself, how will I feel a month from now? Will I still want this? Tell yourself this: novelty wears off. Or you can say, new things get old. And I'm realizing that it really seems that the best investment is to invest back into yourself. Because behind me, I have a whole bookshelf of books full. I've probably spent at least $500 just building my bookshelf, maybe even more. And even the books I bought on Audible, it's definitely it's a lot of money. But when I think about the things that I've bought that have been a reinvestment in myself versus the things that I've bought that were just for the pleasure of having those things, you start to realize that those things aren't even worth having most times. Those things get old. I bought a nice winter jacket. It got old. I bought a car. It got old. What's the point? The point is this: when you reinvest into yourself, you're putting money in the S&Me 500. You Incorporated. That's the best company to bet on. Because when you invest in other things, when you invest in the car, when you invest in the jacket, when you invest in Jordan, Nike, Adidas, you're investing in their company. What about You Incorporated? How's their stock looking? Would people be willing to bet on your stock? Would people look at your stock and say that that's a rising stock, that's a growth stock? Or would they say that it's on the decline? So really consider this when you're going to go buy something. Who are you investing into? A lot of people have Louis Vuitton wallet, or I don't know what's even out there, bro. Fucking Dior or whatever they have, but you're investing in somebody else. This guy that owns Louis Vuitton, Dior, Hennessy, he's the richest man in the world because trillions of dollars were printed during the pandemic out of thin air, and people went to spend to give him money. What about themselves? Now they have something that represents his brand. They're a walking advertisement for him. And what do you have to show for it? Because nobody cares that you have an LV. Nobody cares that you have Dior. Nobody cares that you have Bape. So at the end of the day, just tell yourself when you're going to buy something that novelty wears off. It's been working for me. And when I think about it, the things that I should get are the things that are a reinvestment into myself. Because the payoff for that is endless. It compounds over time. There is no compounding payoff for buying something that supports somebody else's brand. I hope you understand. Anyways, just remember to stay disciplined and stay focused, because motivation is fickle, but discipline is forever. Peace.